In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Andy, Happy New Year. Week 17 is a wrap. How you doing, buddy?
Good. It's we're into 20. This is our first episode of 2021, I suppose. First stream, first episode feels weird. We're gonna have our last Sunday Night Football of the.
Yeah, you've been doing your juice cleanse, getting back into the healthy.
I might I was
sober January for you. Yeah, sober January.
Last year I almost made it. I did like 20 days sober, and what? I might do it. Boy, I'm not feeling great. I've imbibed. Because
you live in a bar.
Yeah, not only that, but the sodium intake and my God, what we ate. And I ate like 3 pounds of guacamole the other day. So yeah,
3 pounds of
it might be like sober January / like paleo January / walk to work January. There's a lot of things that make me feel. I live like 18 miles from my office. I'm not walking. Put the snowblower away, shovel the driveway. Try not to die of a heart attack.
Yeah. I guess overall, congratulations on navigating the murky waters of Week 17. I think you had a fine week overall, right? Only tough spot was Dallas.
Oh, our Arizona plus 5.5 didn't look real good.
Oh yeah, no,
that sucked. No. Live spots and second half kind of saved my ass. Not enough to save my ass on Dallas, but a couple live spots in the Raiders game, a second half spot there from a couple people like that, and I tended to agree. And then Green Bay live several times early on. They were trading 2.5 on Green Bay early, so
not a fair
good job. Good job, Aaron Rodgers, because I needed that spot there.
Well, I was looking forward to breaking down our 3 known matchups in the AFC, but Fairbarn just made a 51-yard field goal to send this stupid-ass game into overtime. My God.
Wow. Really?
My God. 38-38 Texans-Titans. We don't know what the AFC playoff matchups are going to be.
The AFC South.
AFC South is still up for grabs. And in fact, some AFC South tickets that I have on the Titans are in jeopardy. This is this whole game has been, I guess let's start here. I think what's funny about this game is that presumably Romeo Crennel and that coaching staff put all their cards on the table and they're like, look, we're going to get a win no matter what. This is how much we care about coaching, thinking that this was going to be some sort of, I don't know, sign to a future employer. Like, look how dedicated to this we are. We're eliminated, but we're still fighting hard. We can get this team up, right? The problem is you've proven yourself to be completely untrustworthy of a franchise keys because you put Watson in harm's way. Like this is absolutely ridiculous that for personal gain, you put a lot of these players in harm's way. I find it to be distasteful. And I think Crennel is probably unhireable after this, to be honest with you. I think the Texans organization continues to show poor judgment. It's shocking that I guess Texans fans may be happy. Are fans happy even about this, or are they like, where was this fight the other 15 games, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. Did something awesome happen for the Titans, or something terrible? Tennessee bomb.
I don't know.
Did they get a touchdown? Oh no!
They'll
54. Oh, they're gonna get a kick a field goal. So Titans AFC South is. I don't want to count my chickens because
we won't count it.
It is Gostkowski. It is Gostkowski, and he's been known to do terrible things.
If this is a successful drive and ends in either a touchdown or a field goal, we will see them as the 4 seed facing the Colts 7.
Colts.
Is that how we're sitting?
Baltimore Ravens is a 5 seed. What are you talking about?
Four or 5.
Take a big step backwards. The fourth.
I can't get the seeds.
Wow.
Okay, so
Your
2,
brain
7,
is pickled.
3, 6, 4, 4. So 5, 4. Baltimore is the 5 seed.
Would be Baltimore, Tennessee if
Baltimore,
the
Tennessee.
Titans convert this field goal, which hopefully they
So,
do.
3-6 Pittsburgh, Indy, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. 2-7 is Buffalo, Indy.
Yes. If this again, we're a little late. They're using their punter to kick field goals. I missed that entirely. What?
It's been kind of a mess like this
Are
whole
they
afternoon.
Really? Did Gostkowski get hurt?
There was a point where it looked like, is Indy going to lose? And then Seattle was losing, and I just stopped caring. Like I stopped trying to figure it out in my head who was going to get what spot. I'm just like, I will let this shit.
Sam Sloman. Oh yeah, is Gostkowski on the COVID list? Sam Sloman is their kicker today. Oh, this is terrible.
Sam Sloman is 1 for 1. He's 5 for 5 in extra points.
List. Yeah,
5 for 5 in extra points. True.
I mean, he might be better than Gostkowski. Gostkowski's been horrible. He almost cost them their first win of the season against the Broncos. Like 5 misses in that one. Sam Sloman. Wow.
6 for 6 today.
All right. Well, you guys get to sweat this AFC South price with me. I think I had 2-1 plus 210 on Titans before the season started.
Oh yeah, you're a big Titans guy.
Would have been better for me just to leave that money in Bitcoin, it turns out, but that's fine.
Yep. A lot of those. But yeah, congratulations on the Cardinals getting over 7 wins. That was like all those ones I won. It's like, every single preseason $4,000.
Every single prop that I played in the preseason has been a loser thanks to Bitcoin, even the ones that were winners. So Sloman made it, but they called a timeout. Oh my God. All right, let's start with the NFC then. We know what our 4 NFC. We know what 2 of our 3 NFC wildcard matchups are going to be.
And we know where the other one will be slated. They will be the 4 seed no matter what.
We did no pre-production for this. We're all over the place. It's been a long 2 weekends. The holiday season has pickled my brain.
All right, let's start with the Green Bay. Green Bay gets a bye.
Banked it in. Tennessee Titans.
Doink.
Thank you for not effing that up. Jesus, man. Doinking in. Wow.
Thank you for being a friend.
Doink and in.
All right. Let's. I'm going to stop you.
Oh my God.
We are all over the place. Let's decide what we're going to do. Are we going to go over today's games, or are we going to talk about? Okay.
Anything that was inconsequential, we're skipping entirely today. I think we should go.
We'll do a 10-second talk on the games that didn't matter. So.
Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
Start early, all right, Dallas Giants. Obviously, McCarthy, the culprit there, really screwing up, not challenging. Probably not going for 2 early as well was a bit puzzling. And then also just the fact that they hadn't really gotten down there. Like, how many more chances are you going to get down there to score more? Like, you go for 2, and then I bet the real killer was not challenging that. Probably wasn't a catch that would force down the punt.
Yes,
and then they could have kicked a field goal instead of throwing into the end zone. So
I didn't think you didn't give appropriate coverage to the not going it for 2.
It was early-ish, and people, I get that. Like, it wasn't late enough in the game, probably, but of the fact that they had not gotten down there enough. Like,
who cares?
It's not like you're in the red zone every 5 minutes. You probably
need how much. Yeah, who cares how much time is left? You do not.
The difference between
a 5-point game, a 4-point game, it's not meaning much in the long term at all. And they absolutely should have gone for 2 to make it a 3-point game. They would have gotten it, in my opinion. They had some nice looking plays down in the red zone, except for the Andy Dalton sacks and the Andy Dalton picks. Those I didn't love. Cowboys, that was kind of exactly the icing on the Cowboys season cake that you expected. Mike McCarthy is not right for this job long term, but they probably keep him around and suck again next year. Is that your read on the Cowboys?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would think they're keeping him. So the Giants will be waiting and watching their interdivision rivals with great attention tonight, because it is we don't know the exact matchup, but it either will be Giants or Washington in that spot facing
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay in the 5 seed.
Tampa Bay is the 5.
Hosting Tampa. I guess if I'm Tampa, I'm maybe hoping. I guess I'm cheering for the Eagles, so you don't have to go play in Washington. It's a worse. They're both bad fields, especially after you saw an injury to one of your players today because of some sloppy turf. Like, you're thinking of bigger things than just winning the game against the NFC East team. This kind of sucks for Tampa. You're gonna have to go play on a shitty field. Either way, you're either in the Meadowlands or you're in, what's the name of the town I can never think of?
Raljan. Landover.
Yeah, Ralston. Those are bad stadiums. So, all right, on to Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Did Cleveland impress
Mason
you?
Rudolph covering the number.
Did Cleveland impress you, and what do you think of the opening number for this rematch?
So Cleveland did not impress me, but they
did enough.
They did enough, and they had a shitload of guys on COVID lists. So they didn't have good. Were any of their starting secondary available? I don't think they were. Right? I mean, Ward and Joseph, Ward and KJ, both out in that one before the game.
Very weird game to try to take anything away from, because of if you're going to start Mason Rudolph and run Dobbs out there as like a change of pace, Taysom Hill thing. And then also be missing your center, several defensive and outside linebackers, whatever you want, edge rushers, missing numerous starters. And then also on the other side, the other team is getting hit with COVID. I don't know how you really take a lot of away from that. Was this the highest scoring red zone episode ever? Well, I suppose there were more fucking games. There were so many games.
That's true.
There's no Thursday, there's no Monday. But to that point, Mr. Hansen did say he was going to donate a certain amount per touchdown to like the Barstool Fund. So good that there was a lot of scores. If there was some stuff, what do you want to call it, charity behind it. So I guess, Cleveland didn't impress me, but again, hard to take away a lot from this game based on the personnel that are in for both teams. Good on you, Pittsburgh, for getting inside the number. It was always a pretty big number. I was worried about it because
there was a lot of time in the game. It looked like it was going to be a 2-score win. Yeah, a lot of that game looked like it was going to be a 2-score win.
Jets, New England. Give me 10 seconds on the Jets, New England. You can take this one. 9, 8.
Goodbye, Adam Gase. Why did you wait until now to fire him? What are you going to do with Sam Darnold? Jets, what is the plan? What are you doing? What is the plan?
It'll be a fun off-season topic because there's another opening. They will be getting rid of him today. I'll do 10 seconds on Minnesota, Detroit. Congratulations, Minnesota, on moving down like 6 spots in the draft. Like, whoever won this game lost a considerable chunk in the draft, which whatever. Eric Eager, I think, said, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but where Minnesota finished for the season after having breakout seasons for a rookie receiver, a really good season for your quarterback and your starting running back, all in the same season and still finishing like this in an offensive league is kind of an indictment on how this team is run. So cringe, Minnesota, cringe.
Hey, you know what? At least they got an old school defensive minded guy running the ship. You know, that's how you win in this league going forward. Mike Zimmer, congratulations on winning your finale. You got the momentum going into 2021. You will be fadeable for years to come until they move on.
Yeah, if we keep Zimmer in the NFC North, the Lions screw up the hiring, which they will likely, and then you give Mitch Trubisky an extension. Like, Rodgers has to be, he can't be mad about the Jordan Love stuff anymore because that's just one little bump and everything else broke his way. So Atlanta, Tampa, that one, I guess it mattered a little, but sort of kind of. Tampa did want to get the win to at least not have to worry about anything else to get that 5 seed to play the NFC East champ. So Tampa's looked good. I don't have an update. I know they were doing an MRI on Mr. Evans. It looked like hopefully just a hyperextension. I don't have any Tampa exposure. I hate to see a good player get hurt on bad turf in week 17 going to the playoffs. It sucks.
What was your read on that, really? You think he's done?
No, I mean, it just looked like a bad hyperextension. You can stretch out some stuff. I don't know if somebody has an update, hit us in the chat with that, but I don't have a lot of takeaways from there. Both offenses looked about how they looked all year. And Atlanta's kind of been a covering machine, but Tampa's offense is a bit too much today.
It was a bit too much. And I mean, so much for the great Raheem Morris defensive resurgence in Atlanta. Yeah. I mean, but really, Tampa Bay's offense is a truck right now, and I don't really know what to make of Tom Brady's performance this last 4 or 5 weeks. He's been a top 3 quarterback in the NFL over the last handful of weeks here, which is amazing to say.
What do you
think he probably you think they want to go to New York and not Washington?
I've got a question here. Would you bet the Ravens? This is a line that's up right now. I'm jumping way ahead. Would you bet the Ravens -3 over the Colts?
Are we serious here, guys?
That's what's up on BetOnline right now. It's not even the right game. I don't think.
Do they need help over there? What is going on?
I don't know. Well, hopefully by the time we get to those games, but I would probably bet that.
I'm going to switch to the Classic website and see if they have the right matchups on the Classic website. How about that?
All right, and then we'll move down the card to Baltimore Cincy again.
Nope, they got the wrong one on that too.
Baltimore has been a truck against bad teams, but it's one of those things where it was like Green Bay early in the season, where Green Bay trucked some teams that weren't very good. It's like, well, that's what good teams do. Good teams beat the shit out of bad teams. So Baltimore's hopefully getting their offense right and ready for the playoffs. And again, they looked very good. Even with the backups in, they ran the ball very effectively. Again, it's Cincinnati. Competition will get stiffer here, but not a lot to take away from there. Nobody really got hurt. So
everybody stayed healthy. Knocking on wood. Dobbins Dobbins has some fresh legs, man. Dobbins was popping. I like that. Dobbins was firing.
Buffalo. It's funny. These lines are moving as people are betting them. I don't know
what is going on. Why would you bet this? This is not the right matchup.
Where are we? Buffalo.
Some wormhole
laying their. How about that Miami Steam? And I get it. I've bet into bad Steam and watched it go wrong. But boy, the Miami Steam off basically zero news at all. All the was Barkley was going to get snaps. We knew that they'd probably let Josh Allen play and get the record, which maybe could have been one drive if it had gone right. We knew that with roster limits, you're not going to just go to all backups in a hurry. But boy, they laid it on them. So Miami, I guess I'm surprised they didn't show up a little more. But not having Fitzmagic to go to in the pen sucked. And Tua, throwing all those picks. What are you gonna do with Trey White out still too?
He was awful. You made some good points when we were watching live, because we were trying to find the right entry point on them pulling Allen, and it never really materialized. But you were key on this Buffalo defense is flying around. They first forced 4 turnovers. That was impressive. Buffalo's a truck. That offense can score. Surprise.
God bless John Gruden right now. They scored, and instead of going for the tie in the final game of the afternoon slate in a meaningless season, they went for and got the 2-point conversion. So,
everyone that picked Raiders and Survivor. There were some people that had Raiders and Survivor that flipped on that for sure.
Don't go to overtime. Don't go to overtime in something like this. So good job.
Somebody won their Survivor pool on that. I promise you.
That would be funny if it flipped it. The fact that they did get that Derek Carr to Waller. Now I lost my spot. Where were we? Oh yeah, Buffalo laid it on them. Didn't score in the first quarter. Put up 56. Not great. Miami. Jacksonville. Indy came out. What was it? Indy 20-0.
Can we go back a second? Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think we need to reflect a little bit more on the end of Miami's season. They played with fire, not just not just once they had enough evaluation of Tua, not just going with Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick probably was like, well, why would I not see my family around Christmas if I'm just the backup quarterback for this team? He gets COVID. He was not available for really, the emergency when you needed him today. Right? You think if he was available, they'd pull the trigger quicker on Tua while the game is still in the balance and it doesn't turn into a runaway, our season is over?
I don't know. That game got weird in a hurry, man.
Okay, so you don't have an opinion on it?
Not really. Miami's been hard for me to gauge with it's hard to really quantify and find, like, is it a good defense or is it a lucky defense? Like, and it can be both. Like, think of the Bears.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, think of the Bears 2 years ago. The Bears that went 12-4, won the division, lost in the playoffs right away. But that team was really good. That defense was great at times, but they also had colossal turnover luck. And like getting turnover luck is also, having a good defense helps with turnover luck. I mean, they had guys punching the balls out and flying all over it, and they had a lot of interceptions, but like it's not something that's sustainable for likely the next season. And we saw that with the Bears, and who knows where this defense goes. And they quickly looked like shit today. So I don't know where this team goes. I know they're ahead of schedule.
You know what they got?
They got Moxie.
They got the third pick.
Yes.
In next year's draft, courtesy of Bill O'Brien.
Denver might kick Denver.
What? Are you serious?
They're at the 50. Anyway,
what a weird.
We'll talk more. We'll do.
Right.
We'll do some stuff maybe in the playoffs or as we go forward. We'll do some off-season, autopsies on teams.
Oh, absolutely, tons.
That'll be fun. Like,
I just want your gut reaction. Reaction on
that would be a fun thing to do here as we get into the off-season and. Instant reactions on the win totals that they open right away and say like and there's gonna be a lot of teams looking to hire coaches. There's gonna be teams losing coordinators to other teams. So that'll be a fun exercise, especially for a team like Miami. But yeah, they have the third pick. They have a bunch of draft picks. They'll be okay. They're ahead of schedule. Indy was up 20-0 on Jacksonville. They kind of pulled a reverse Green Bay and said, "Oh, well, we're up. Let's just coast." It didn't quite work out because Mike Glennon is an animal. He is an animal, and they ended up actually, covering the early numbers. I think there were some 13.5s. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for a lot of people, this ended up just being a push on a 14. The late numbers got there. If you got Jacksonville at obviously anything over 14, I saw 16s out there. I saw 16. So, not much to say there. Indy's in the playoffs. Hard to take away much from a game where they went up 20-0 and had to turn it back on. It kind of felt like what Green Bay did. Green Bay's the next game.
Over.
Went over. Yeah, went over there. Some of the numbers. Auspicious start.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. Middled, right?
Yeah, middled.
Ooh. That was a frisky little middle there with that late touchdown, too.
McManus has had 2 field goals over 68 yards blocked today.
Amazing.
I don't know if that's ever happened before. So
neither was returned for a touchdown, and the Raiders do not cover the spread. That is what's important in that one. I guess
Green Bay kicking the out of bounds kick thing was funny. Mitch, again, they scored 16. Like Mitch is probably still going to get extended because of the other run they had and the fact that they'll still be in the playoffs.
P-U.
But
P-U. P-fucking-U. Not
P-U.
interested. Not interested at whatsoever in the future of what they're doing down there. 42 passes today, 252 yards, 0 touchdowns and a pick. Did not get it done on the ground either. Not impressive whatsoever. There was actually, I don't know if you saw this, but because I was paying attention as an over better in that one. At one point, the Bears down 8 points went on down 5 points, wiped out 8 minutes of the clock on a 15-play drive that made it 50 yards, and it ended on downs. That is exactly what you're getting long-term with the Mitch Trubisky offense against good teams. A team where it is that hard for them to move the ball. It is just an absolute Herculean effort for them to move the ball 50 yards. It takes them 8 minutes, and they get nothing for it. Like that is who they are against a good team, against a good defense, against a team playing for something. That is who they are, and they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it was kind of a bad game. And yet it's like Rodgers played hard and looked good in the second quarter. Got a lead. They kind of took their foot off the gas, and Chicago didn't take advantage. They only scored 3 points in the second half. Garbage time Mitch wasn't there to get over, Garbage time Mitch, I guess, wasn't really involved on the offensive side, but he did throw the pick, which got the number over. So we'll give Garbage time Mitch credit there. Green Bay looks good, and Green Bay will get a week off to rest and get to host teams up in the frozen tundra there. Tennessee won the division. Did not
miraculous fashion.
Went over every number, obviously. 79 points scored in this one.
Yeah.
God, did it stay under in the first half? It looks like there was only 26 points in the first half. That's amazing.
It is amazing. Okay, two quick thoughts on that one. Going back again, Texans really putting any of their players at risk for a meaningless game brings into question all of the judgment of everyone involved. Number two, Tennessee, that defense is so bad, like remarkably bad, that they could, with the chance to win their division, with the chance to have a home team, home playoff game, that they could concede. What did they have? A 17-point lead? 18-point lead? It was 18 points, right? Because 17-point lead. They had a 17-point lead, and they conceded, and they were losing, and had to come away with a huge drive to win that game. Now, number one, obviously they're going to be playing a little bit sharper come playoff time, having kind of gone through the difficult way, right? Like it'll probably help sharpen them up. They're down 35-31. There's only a couple minutes left. They do a 19-play, 75-yard drive, score a touchdown to go up go up 3. Then they conceded a field goal. Unbelievable. And then they get an 18-second, 55-yard drive, thanks to the huge A.J. Brown play, to win it by 3 off the doink, banked it in.
Single doink, the bank. Bank is open on Sunday.
I'm watching the replay right now, and I'm just in shock. What a way to win the South.
This is one that I'd forgot I placed and then remembered and then sweated again. And Todd Gurley under 825. And I got 825 and a half. I got an even better line. That was one of the dumbest results to start, because throughout like the first 5 games he had like 350 yards, more than that, and I just kind of wrote it off. But Todd Gurley came back to the ground, and I'm glad I got that one done. So suck it, Mr. Gurley. You've had a great career though. He's not even that old. We always talk like he's 40. He's like 29. Just feels like he's Frank Gore. Houston, stupid. Carolina, I guess I didn't expect Carolina to get blown out like that. If you had the under in that one, congrats, I guess. Like, I think they threw 2 interceptions in the end zone. Like, that game probably should have gotten a few more points. I'm not saying Carolina should have covered, but I think that total probably should have gone over. I didn't catch much of it. It just a lot of Carolina screwing things up. So, I don't want to say that game didn't matter, because New Orleans did have some seeding things that could have changed things, but a lot of that was dependent on other games as well. They just needed to go out there and get it done. Chargers, Kansas City did not catch a second of this game. Not even a little bit.
No, same.
Kansas City had a lot of starters out.
Kansas City finishes the season on an 0-8 ATS run. Is that right?
7-1. They pushed on that 3, if you remember.
Oh yeah, that's right. Although some of our friends had 3.5, i.e. Fabian.
But we're using the closer.
That's right. 0-7-1 against the
we
spread.
are getting the proper. Let's spin through these last couple quick because we're starting to get the ones right as they pop up. What is left? Seattle, San Francisco, frantic fourth quarter, 34-point fourth quarter to get that over the total, and San Francisco backdoors it as well with Seattle 20-point fourth quarter, which often will get you a cover, not if the other team scores 14. So didn't catch much of that game. San Francisco is a team I liked a lot in certain spots this year, just too many injuries. And Seattle used to be good, and by their own volition have changed into a middle of the pack team. Like they have not done what they did at the beginning of the season. Obviously nothing that Wilson was doing was sustainable, but it was certainly more sustainable than what they're currently looking like now. So I don't know what to make of Seattle in the playoffs.
No. I don't either.
The Bucks backdoored the Chiefs. It was a meaningless touchdown, but again, they did not cover.
Plays the Rams. Seattle plays John Wolford in the Rams, by the way.
Yeah, so I don't know how you fade that. Wolford's not. Are we
on that one yet? Are we on that one yet? Oh no, we got to do Vegas Denver. Vegas makes their team total. They go over 7.5 thanks to the gumption of Mr. John Gruden. Good job, guys.
Which also good job not going to overtime in a game that's the ultimate asshole move is kicking that extra point in a game that doesn't matter, like making everybody extend their season by 10 minutes.
We all sincerely appreciate it.
Arizona Rams, we got the absolute craziest best to the opener. A lot of the stuff broke our way, and then a lot of the stuff didn't break our way. We lost several receivers, and then Kyler went out. And the Strevler show was a little rough.
It was awful.
They had their chances to get inside the number, but I mean, it just never was going to happen. So
that guy sucks. And you know what else? Wolford with a full week of practice. That was absolute worst case scenario. Wolford has a full week of practice. They give him a bunch of easy looks, easy reads. They're going up against a defense that's like overconfident, and they move the ball effectively, no problem. They get a pick six at the end of the first half, and that was game over. The minute Strevler was at a deficit, it was over. And Arizona's their season ending that way is just it seems fitting. Cliff Kingsbury did a terrible job, I think. I'm very unimpressed with the Kingsbury coaching performance this season, the last two games especially. To be in the driver's seat for a wild card berth in a 17-team field, and fail that way is cause for scrutiny. And I think the Arizona with Kingsbury they are a red hot fade in 2021 and beyond until they move on. I don't think this is an NFL coach. I don't think this is an NFL system. And I would like to see them move on and Kyler Murray get a coach who can develop them a little bit more effectively. And I was extremely disappointed not getting that cover from the +5.5. Obviously, they bring Kyler Murray back into the game. He drives the field effortlessly. They get in the red zone, and it was like you could see it coming. This is the same problem that they've had week in, week out of converting red zone opportunities to touchdowns. Bit them in the ass again. They end up going for a field goal attempt. It gets blocked, and that's the end of the game. Game over.
That was really
season over. Season over. Like I do not know how you kind of reflect on your season in any way other than negatively when it ends that way. 7 points against the Rams, against the backup quarterback in Wolford. 7 points, by the way, that were gifted to you by Wolford making the first mistake in the game. They scored nothing outside of that short field that they had off the Wolford interception. Like, what is going on? And I know the injuries were a problem, and I know the Rams defense is good. Rams, by the way, 8-0 to the under at home this season.
Yeah, it's the
with a bullet, with a bullet,
with a bullet. That is funny because there's no signal, and it's been weird game. Like a weird game like this shouldn't count, but it's funny that like you made a case for that early and it happened.
With a bullet. All 8 Rams games went under. The closest one was the Rams Jets, I think, honestly.
SoFi effect.
the SoFi effect for the Rams specifically. Maybe they just trained the clock operators to run the clock or something like weird like that. Who knows? But whatever the case is, the Cardinals are done. Goodbye. We will not miss you in the playoffs. I guess I'm sad I won't get an opportunity to fade them against the Saints. That would have been a nice fade look, but I'm fine fading the Bears against the Saints, I guess, right? Because now we know Saints are the 2, they draw the Bears. Seattle is the 3, they draw the Rams. Rams are going to have.
Trubisky looks like against a good pass rush.
Not good. It's not good. Not good. What about?
So
Wolford?
I want to talk about the line that has me intrigued the most, because we do have the correct matchups now. Is the Ravens? I guess it might have opened 3.5 some places, but the Ravens,
I saw 3.5 on the open.
Ravens 3 right now. I can get. I want to talk about the games that the Ravens lost. The Steelers, perfect second half to beat them. Back when the Steelers were actually catching the ball and the defense was intact. The Chiefs just put together the perfect game. I mean, honestly, the most perfect game plan to run them out. Otherwise, the Ravens got it done against a lot of good teams. The overtime game against the Titans. This is a rematch. I don't know what you want to take from that, but what the
revenge
Titans have, I don't want to do revenge game, but the fact that that was in
we got to build this narrative up and get this number out to like 6, man. Come on.
That I'm not excited about laying points on the road here, but
why not? Against this defense, did you see what Deshaun Watson just did to him?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want it out to 6. I want to bet it at 3. Yeah, I guess I agree that I would, if I had to bet this right now, I'd probably bet Baltimore. The way if you can't bother Lamar, if you're not going to get a pass rush versus them, the way this defense looked against a team, missing a bunch of pieces throughout the season, lost all their receivers almost, and just got scorched at times. What we've seen from Baltimore, I know it's been a bit of a fugazi with the competition they've played, but Baltimore should be able to score here. I'll be interested to see what this total is. So,
hey man, there are teams in the AFC who go up against weak competition and they play down to them.
Yeah, and
there are teams in the AFC that go up against weak competition and
beat the tar out of them,
just skull F them. Off the field. Like that is exactly what the Ravens have done the last 3 weeks. They have taken weaker competition that they were facing. They have known the stakes and they have risen to the occasion, and they have just gone scorched earth on these mothers. And they did it today against the Bengals. And honestly, I do not know how the Titans come up with a game plan that gets them in this game against the Ravens. And you can go back and clip my preview of Ravens Titans last year in the playoffs, and it's going to sound real similar. Like, this Ravens team is legit. These Titans are frauds, and this should be a double-digit spread. Who cares about home field advantage? Home field advantage never mattered less.
Yeah, good coaches on both sides, but yeah, this defense is much worse than I think. They had a stretch last year where they were missing some secondary pieces and were problems too. So, yeah. I like the Ravens here, and it sucks.
Over in that Ravens Titan game, up to 57-58. Is that the Ravens team total over? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
I would take the Ravens team total over up to 57-58. Sure. Why not?
Does anyone else have this open right now?
No,
I'm kind of shop around, see if there's other prices. I know the markets can be a little goofy sometimes.
Yeah, our partners at WinBet only have the Washington football team open at this point. So waiting on that one. I'm not sure why they didn't hang the other 2 known NFC matchups at BetOnline if they're going to hang openers. I mean, they had 4 hours to get these up, I guess, and they still missed up the teams. Do you think that was intentional? Were they trying to gauge how enthusiastic people were to bet the Ravens and the Bills? Was that intentional that they did that, just knowing that they were going to cancel all those? They wanted to get a sense of how fired up people were.
Just see who's betting into. Well, not only that, like I don't know, like who would bet into that unless you just didn't know what the game was.
I mean, they like, that's what I'm asking, honestly. Like, was that sort of like let's feel what the temperature of the water is on these teams. Oh, shit. Everyone's betting the Ravens, even against a team they're not going to play. Everyone's betting the Bills, even against a team they're not going to play. Okay, well, we know we need to build a little bit of fat into those 2 teams. Because honestly, opening the Ravens at -3.5 was a bad opener. It should have been 2.5, in my opinion. But it is what it is. It's moved down to 3. I wouldn't be surprised if it stays at 3. I wouldn't be surprised if Bookmaker opens at 2.5. Do you have an opinion on what?
That's right. I think I want to wait. I want to wait for some more markets to open on this. I want to see what Chris opens. I want to see what some other things happen. So I'm not going to get too crazy on some of these.
To birdie 832366688. I do not hate you. I was just making a joke because of how bad the Titans defense is and how clicking on all cylinders.
You're on thin ice though, Birdie.
No.
You should get an avatar. I like the picture. No, that's is that a number or was he guessing? Or does he have a price somewhere?
Oh, I think he was just guessing. Is anything up at Bet Any Sport? Somebody reference that.
I can check. Sometimes they will do look aheads where they'll give a bunch of options, but man, I don't know if you could have done that this year with all the different permutations of what could have happened. Maybe after the noon games, you could have had some looks, but I'm seeing nothing but Washington, Philly, and Ohio State, Bama so far there. A lot of props on tonight's game. I'm scrolling down. Yeah, first half stuff and just props for Washington, Philly.
Yep.
So nothing up there. Just some of the offshores that are early. If we didn't mention already, Pittsburgh -4 hosting Cleveland and Bills -7 hosting the Colts.
Either of those numbers surprise you?
Those numbers are pretty much on market with what I was gonna. It's not like I didn't run. Once we got to it, I said, "Well, what would I make Cleveland, Pittsburgh? What would I make Indy, Buffalo?" And it looks like with my upgrades, I think it's too much for Buffalo. But are we in a spot where you really want to fade a team that's clicking like that?
No.
Again, great.
6.5 is fair. If you want to bet 7 with Buffalo, bet 7 with Buffalo. That is fine. I think you obviously have
I'm just saying my numbers would make it less. My numbers would make it less, as in I would like to, if I'm going by my numbers, I would say bet the Colts +7, but I will not be doing that. Not right now. And it's funny, I mentioned this in the.
I saw the Steelers at 4.5. They're getting steamed. I didn't see that at all. Sorry, go ahead.
Who's the worst coach here? I'm going to name, and I'm not looking at anything outside of the 4 game or the 3 games here. I guess maybe Stefanski just because he's new, but Stefanski, Tomlin, Harbaugh, Vrabel, Reich, and I always just say Dable, but I mean, you know who I mean, the head coach. Like, if there's a team, McDermott. They're all
good. They're all good.
Like good coaches get in. Wow, and then obviously we don't have to mention Andy Reid and probable head coach Eric Bieniemy. So, I mean, and there's talk of Dable getting head coaching looks. There's talks of.
Are you ready? Hey, you ready for this? I'm going to take Bills -6.5.
Do it.
At a U.S. legal shop in New Jersey, which just popped, which also has a lineup for Saints Bears. You want to guess what it is before I tell you?
8.
It is 7. Saints -7. You ready to fire away?
Yeah.
This is a place where fans can fence each other and things like that. It's a competitor of WinBet, so I'm not going to give them any shine on the pod. But presumably WinBet will have it up shortly as well.
You cannot get a sweatshirt betting at FanDuel.
At where? No. Forget you heard that. Forget you heard that.
Watch, we'll deal with him eventually.
You probably can't even bet. Probably, if you're as sharp as you from listening to this season as you ought to be, then of the deep dive, then you probably can't even bet there anymore. But if you could, then you could bet 6.5 on the Bills, and you could bet 7 on the Saints. Tried and true wild card round betting angle. In fact, in all of the years I've been betting the NFL playoffs, I kind of throw out my numbers, and I have sort of rules for each round of the playoffs. And wild card round, back the better quarterback. Period. Better quarterback.
If there's a rookie quarterback, or not a rookie quarterback, excuse me, but a first time starter in the playoffs.
A debutant
is hard to back. Those are almost almost always have to be a fade. Do you have and I can just pull this up because I have it bookmarked, but are you seeing the other NFC matchup? I know, obviously I don't think you can hang. Maybe they'll do one for Bucks. Somebody should do one for Bucks, Washington, and Bucks Giants. Like, just do that. Hang them both up. Put them, just nickel limits or whatever, and just
they're not going to do it because who knows if Alex Smith even makes it through this game with his leg?
Is the number that much different? I mean, because why did this number move today? It certainly wasn't the quarterback.
No, it was 100%.
It was Philly resting everyone.
Eagles defense, yeah, Eagles defense.
So yeah, we're not seeing a number on Tampa game. Obviously, they don't have an opponent yet, but nothing for Saints. Rams, what would you make that in Seattle?
If it's Wolford, 8.5. If it's Goff, 7.5, maybe. I don't know. Goff with the broken thumb, 7.5. Goff if he was healthy, we know it would be like.
I don't think it'll be. I think it will. Yeah, I think Goff's thumb has sailed. Yeah, I was thinking 6.5, 7.
It's probably gonna be right around a touchdown.
Sure it is.
You're gonna have 3 games close around a touchdown,
just because Wolford didn't look, horrific today. Like if he comes out and they stink, and it wasn't like he lit the world on fire, but
interesting. So my -7 that I fired on FanDuel looks like a good bet because BetOnline hung 10.5.
That's why it said 8. Like that doesn't make sense.
Did Drew Brees' kidney fall out or something? Like why is this the Taysom Hill show? Is that why they hung a 7? I don't understand.
Yeah, this was a debutante from last year. Was Allen versus Houston, and I believe the Bills were up like 16-0.
Yeah,
and just
Josh Allen popped
his
cherry in typical debutante fashion, with just some weird, wild, boneheaded nonsense, fumbles, laterals, just totally lost his composure in the fourth quarter in that one.
I would say that's the worst playoff game I've ever watched. But, even in recent
Patriots, which was right after, I think was worse.
No. In recent history, the Patriots-Rams Super Bowl was 100 times worse.
Yes.
Oh my God, unwatchable. But no, that was rough because the Bills. You were
quality
thinking
of football wasn't good, but the entertainment value was way up here. It was.
Nelly has a good point. This is a little further back. Joe Webb starting against the Packers.
Yeah, let's not forget we had the Raiders with their backup for Carr going up against Osweiler in one game. Like there's been some real bad playoff quarterback matchups over the years. This year we have a really, really solid suite of teams, except I would have liked Dallas in the NFC East slot. That would.
Do you have a take on the late number? A couple people have asked. I'm not betting. I'm cheering for Washington because if Philly wins, I'm going to feel way worse about losing Dallas.
Yeah, as I will.
We are Washington football. You know what football teams do?
Connor Cook versus Osweiler. That one was all time bad. Connor Cook. I couldn't even come up with his name. Yeah,
I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
Baker versus Big Ben. Who's the better quarterback?
I think Ben on the experience.
It's close, and Ben has better receiving options.
Although it's worth noting,
obviously a lot more mobile.
I don't know if you remember this, if you would agree with this even. But Ben Roethlisberger has been a very suspect playoff quarterback, like super, super suspect.
There are very few quarterback lately. Some of his decision making.
Forget about lately. Right. Career. He has 2 Super Bowls where they got there and won because of crazy defense and amazing wide receiver play, and Ben was along for the ride. I gotta say. His best season was the year he took them to the Super Bowl and they lost to the Packers, and he was fine in that one. But in general, his playoff performances have been pretty stinky. That said, he's got. You want to guess how many games Ben Roethlisberger has played in his playoff career?
Oh well, if he's got 2 Super Bowls, and I think one of them might have been a wild card season even. Well, the Arizona one.
Wow, geez, yes, it was. No, the one where they beat the Seahawks, the first one, 2006. They snuck in as a wild card.
14 playoff games.
21. This will be his 22nd playoff start for Big Ben. He is 13-8 lifetime in the playoffs. His touchdown to interception ratio lifetime in the playoffs, 30-24. So he had basically
to have a winning record over a sample of over 20. That's still something. I mean,
especially when your touchdown to interception ratio is 30-24.
Yeah.
Imagine throwing a pick almost as often as you throw a touchdown and winning 13 playoff games out of 21.
I mean, some of those teams had some pretty good running backs.
Yeah, of course. And really good defenses. Troy Polamalu defenses. And who are some of the other guys through the years? Just amazing, future Hall of Famer defenders on some of these teams. James Harrison defenses. You remember they beat the Cardinals thanks to him pick sixing at the end of the first half,
Yeah, that return against the Cardinals was a Super Bowl highlight. I don't think I had money on that game. So it'll be interesting to see if Big Ben rights the ship. And to be fair to the man, he is old. He's older than us, and we're not young. And he hasn't had a bye week since fucking week 4. He needs this time off. He didn't even travel. He didn't. That was the best thing I heard.
He just got one.
That's the best thing I heard was they said he didn't even travel with the team. He got to sit on the couch. He's drinking a soda.
Bus ride to Cleveland from Pittsburgh could have been real tough on the old man.
Oh, no, he plays better when he doesn't have to practice. Like he needs his rest. He's the guy who needs 14 hours of sleep a day. He does play better when he's rested. So it'll be interesting.
Interestingly, the Bears
took a middle on. You could have had a middle on the Bears. You could have got 10.5.
Yeah, I could only.
The Hawks number is up.
And interestingly, BetOnline was taking to win 2,500. They still are
usually what they open.
No, for you, really?
Yeah, that's. Well, I use low
for any NFL Sunday. For any NFL Sunday,
like give me bounce back and forth between the two.
No.
But I feel like that's what the normal opener is. 2. I thought it was 2 and then 500 on a total.
Oh, okay.
They all have red circles. Well, no, they all have red circles for me. Well, Pittsburgh's 25, but the Seahawks game is still circled at 1,000 because that's the newest one on the board, I guess. I guess they're probably opening them at a dime and then moving up to 2,500.
Yeah. You're right. That's what they're doing. I love learning about this. This is cool. Okay. And credit to them for hanging a Rams Seahawks number when we don't even really know who the quarterback for the Rams is going to be. I guess the assumption is it's going to be Wolford.
Should we bet this just because I don't think Goff's coming back?
I don't either, but I also
don't wait. I don't care if it gets to 4, so I'm going to wait. Like 3.5, and if it's Wolford, 3.5 and a 4 doesn't matter.
Let's talk the Seahawks Rams game through.
Definitely, Wolford is not a. Oh no, I'm thinking Strevler. I was going to make he's not. He's been in the playoffs. Great Cup. Wrong quarterback. Sorry.
What did we miss the 2.5 on? Who opened 2.5, or where was there a 2.5 for which game?
Oh, I'm sure that was for a hot second.
For which game? I wonder. Because Ravens is up at FanDuel now. It's -3. I'm surprised if they hung a 2.5. If they hung a 2.5 on Seattle. Wow. Well, shit. I think we missed that one. Should have been refreshing more aggressively.
We need a bigger boat.
We get for providing content for you guys.
I think Brooklyn might lose to Washington tonight. That would be They're down a point with a minute left.
Oh, well.
The Nets have been an odd team this year.
Yeah. No, who the hell knows? Dime limits when they were doing the 2.5 there.
Dime limits real early, and then a couple minutes they'll take it up to. I don't think they move with that.
Clearly, Russell Wilson is the better quarterback. If we could have gotten a 2.5 or a 3, that would have been nice. I think now that it's at 3.5, there's not really any rush. There's not a ton of difference between 3.5 and 6 and 5.5, really, up until 6, really. So it's worth kind of letting that market mature a little bit, maybe trying to look for an angle on the total one way or the other. Although I got to tell you, I'm not falling into the trap of recency bias, but Wolford, He did a very capable Jared Goff impression today. Extremely capable. In fact, he was a little more mobile than Jared Goff has been. And
he'll have another
his
week.
ball
Yeah, he'll have another
placement,
week to do it.
he'll have another week of practice. My number coming in on the Rams was closer to a touchdown. So Seahawks, anything under a touchdown would have been math value by my point. But the Seahawks offense has been so broken.
Counterpoint to you, and I mean, this is true. This is fair. Like you say, there's no difference between the 3.5 and the 5.5, and that is true. Like for 99% of the games, but Seahawks games gets weird. The Seahawks, we bet on them last year, I think, and it got hooked on a weird,
That's
like
true.
4.5,
4.5, 5. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Which, whatever. I mean, I'm fine. I'm still fine waiting. I'm going to let these markets mature. The Bills are down to 6.5. Colts money coming in, and the game has started. Looks like we have a 3rd and 2 at midfield for the Eagles, who start with the ball. Bears are kind of finding their way into the over 7 but under 10 spot. And the Steelers money has not shown either way. It's kind of hanging out at 4. Which
People,
is,
and actually,
Frank Brank DM me said, what do you make the game, the Steelers Cleveland game a bit ago? And I said 4.5. So I'm fine. I'm close enough with this too, where I don't have a big opinion. I think maybe later in the week.
I said my number was 3.5 on, and got reaction, trying to elicit a little bit of public feedback just to get a feel for what some of the other folks out there are making numbers. And I think the number one response of all the AFC lines I threw out there was Steelers, are going to be north of 3.5. People were pretty confident in that. So there's going to be, at some point, there'll be some Steelers momentum in the market, I would guess. Do we know what day and time these games are going to be yet?
What would be? No, I don't know. It's not really saying it. It's not even giving him like normal rotation numbers. Like Cleveland is 2001. Maybe that is, I don't know, playoff rotation numbers get funny, or am I misremembering? When are the NFL playoff games? I'm guessing 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. So it just says wild.
There's 6. Well, there's 6 games. So are there 2 on Monday?
Oh yeah, that's a goofy deal. Oh fuck you, Washington Post, not letting me. I'm not going to subscribe. Like that's that. So all right, they're not deciding, but there will be. They're going to wait.
They're going to wait until they know if it's Washington or New York Giants.
Here it is. 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and we don't. Yeah, no one seems to know which one is which. But there will be a 1 o'clock. These are Eastern times. 1 o'clock, 4:40, and 8:15 on Saturday, and then the exact same times on Sunday. And then the next week for divisional round will be the normal 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, championship games Sunday only. And it looks like the Super Bowl falls on a Sunday this year too.
So they're waiting to actually
they're
waiting to slot the games until they know if it's Washington or New York Giants.
Yeah, because New York is a bigger draw.
Bigger market, bigger media market. Yeah, they'll put them in a better slot than Washington. They'll slide into the very first game. Okay. Yeah. The reason I was asking was because one of our buddies pointed out, Klev, TA, his real name is TA, but he's from Cleveland. He pointed out that Ward and KJ in the Browns secondary will not be available if the game is played Saturday. Because of the COVID
there's going to be some of that. What's the Kamara thing too, as far as his availability? I want to check into that.
Oh shit, yeah, he probably isn't either.
Well, I think maybe if it's Saturday he's out, but if it's Sunday he'll play. And if the NFL knows what's good for them, they will put the Saints on Sunday because you don't want one of the preeminent stars in the league to be sitting out because he scheduled his ass wrong. So I would put good money that the Saints play on Sunday.
Bears Saints is probably Sunday, and then Browns same sort of deal. They move the Browns to Sunday.
I don't know if they give a shit about the Browns, man.
The Browns Steelers is.
I know, but it's a couple defenders. I don't know. We'll find out. So I'm gonna go watch the game.
Real quick, before you go, let's assume Washington prevails. How do you line up the 6 games for optimal viewership?
All right. So
What's the optimal lineup?
Saturday lunchtime is Washington Tampa. That's table setter. That's bottom of the batting order. That's Nick.
Absolutely, 100% agree. No doubt about that.
I'm going to work around a little funny on this. My closer on Sunday night. I don't know if you don't. I think you might decide to close with Ravens Titans because you can build up that all that revenge angle, like the media. We might not actually.
If they put that on Saturday primetime, I'm gonna have PTSD. I don't want that.
I think that might be.
Please slide that into the sandwich spot on Saturday.
It's probably an afternoon game, but it would not surprise me if the Giants make it in. If the Giants were like a Sunday night game,
that was the other point. That wasn't the hypothetical. Yeah.
All right. So I would go. I'd go Tampa early.
You think Tampa, even Tom Brady against an NFC East team, you think still gets the early slot?
Maybe the sandwich spot, but I'm putting them on Saturday for sure. And it might be Saints Bears at night, but Saints Bears on Sunday, I would think for sure. I don't know. This is tough. All these games are really close. How do you say Seattle's Rams and that's the thing. If it's Wolford, you put in Wolford in prime time. That's probably like noon Sunday.
Yeah. But that's two Pacific teams, and that's an LA market. I think you put that one on Saturday night.
You could do that, I guess.
I think you go Seattle, LA. You go Seattle, LA Saturday night. You go Washington, Tampa Saturday AM, and you do Tennessee, Baltimore in the sandwich spot. And then on Sunday, you do Pittsburgh Browns in the early hole, Saints Bears in the middle, and then close with Bills Colts. I think that's the game. I think that's the best game. Don't you think that's the best game?
Yeah, it probably will be the best game.
I'm ready to see more Josh Allen in primetime. I definitely don't. I don't know. I guess this is a good wild card round. I think this is good. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. All the games are pretty good. Like the Bears might get ethered, and Wolford might, come and absolutely lay an egg. But the rest of the game should be pretty good. So,
yeah, I just. I really don't want that.
Not having the.
I really don't want that Ravens. I really don't want that Ravens Titans. I anything but Ravens Titans in primetime Saturday, and I'm fine. I do not want that bad juju on them. Nah.
Do you think it matters what time they play? I would say that's something to look at. The final thought for the week. Not only the Kamara thing and the COVID news with the Bills, but there is probably a slight advantage to some teams getting to play Sunday, getting one extra day. There's probably some teams that would be benefiting more from extra rest if they have some banged up players. I'm thinking maybe if Mike Evans, if his leg thing turns out okay, being on Sunday would be better. Just one more day for that knee to pop back if it's just a hyperextension. A few other players like that. Like, look at that too. If a team draws a Saturday, you are getting one fewer day for some of those injuries.
Hey, what do you think of Bills -6.5, -105 as an official pod play?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Bills -6.5, -105.
That's our play. Let's do it. We will give one play tonight.
All right. And I'm in. Place my bet. All right.
I forgot about.
Here we go. I like that price. -6.5, -105 is a good price. I like that. Okay. Do you want to quick hit what you would make any of these totals? Or is that a waste of time?
It might
save it.
Yeah, it might just be a waste of time. Like, well, just what's the highest total? Baltimore, Tennessee, or Indy, Buffalo? Which one of those is higher?
Baltimore.
Pick the highest total and lowest total. I think it doesn't matter who. The lowest total is probably the NFC East team.
Baltimore, Tennessee is the highest total. Rams, Seahawks is the lowest total.
I would make Tampa, Washington a little lower, I think, but it'd be close. I think it's close. It's a decent defense.
It's like a 40. You hang that between 44 and 47, and you let the market tell you where to go.
I think they're both close. They might cross each other. So I agree.
I think Rams Seahawks is like 43, probably.
Really, I would go higher.
Yeah, they moved it down from 55 to 47, and both of them were clear unders in the two games we saw head to head between these guys.
That's fair. All right. We'll bid you adieu, and we'll catch you, and we'll see how fast this half goes for the final.
Is this for real? Did you check that out?
What, Washington?
Pam had an 11.
Yeah, you knew that. The thing, and people asked, and she's like, somebody asked, was it just pizza money? And she's like, it was Starbucks money, which I don't care if you put 5 or 500 on a parlay. That it was only 115 to 1, I think.
Oh, 115 to 1. Okay, because 11,050 to 1 is like that's a once in a lifetime kind of deal.
I'm even putting a prop. I mean, you see this shit all the time, I guess, with the same game parlay stuff where people hit these big ones. But yeah, it was plus 115 or 115 to 1, which is still wild.
Okay. How you feeling about my under in this Washington Philly game?
What number did you get?
43 flat.
Philly might not do much, and missing those defenders isn't helping them. So, what number does Washington have to get to make you worried?
20.
28?
9.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm okay at 28-14, I think.
Yeah.
29.
They're first and goal, but we have missed. We're down to 6 minutes, 39 seconds left. So I'm going to go catch the rest of the first half. We'll be back for the season finale, the wedding episode, the guest star. There's no guest stars. We will have some guests for the postseason, though, if anyone's still hanging around listening. As we transitioned throughout the years, we used to have guests during the week, and then Drew found his voice and became long-winded. And then I absorbed some of that energy, and we realized like we can't have guests anymore because these episodes are too fucking long. So we will have a lot of interviews in the off season. We've got people that are already lined up. There's going to be a lot of good ones, but for the postseason, because we'll have 6, 4-4, whatever, 6-4, 2-1 games, we will have a lot fewer games to talk about, and we will bring in some good guests. So look forward to that on Wednesdays this week or this month. So subscribe over on YouTube. That's a good idea. And if you haven't already, I'll say it one last time. Not one last time. You can get your hoodie. A lot of DMs to the Deep Dive Pod. A lot of people, which is good. I have been excited about the thing. People. The biggest thing is people trusting me with their address. that's a low key underdog that won. People sending me their address and expecting me to mail them something. It'll be a little later in January, but we have a bunch of people that have signed up, and we get those hoodies out for you.
I love
and if you're looking for details on that, hit us up. We have it. It's tweeted.
I love it.
Schmediums. We do have schmediums.
Oh,
I think we have just about any size.
We're loaded. Yeah, we're loaded with schmediums for sure. I got a whole box full of schmediums coming for me. I'm gonna go through them like laundry.
I'm cutting the sleeves off mine.
All right, I'll talk to you at halftime.
Yep, see ya.
Good energy there.
I almost forgot about the WinBet sweatshirt promo.
I know. Thank you for remembering.
Can't buy them in stores.
FanDuel finally got all 5 games up that we know about, by the way. Oh, and the Washington football team got a touchdown on the damn third goal.
7-0.
That's okay. I can absorb 3 more Washington.
Thinking about Euro sizes. Man, I don't know Euro sizes. I've bought shoes in Germany before. I'm like a 43.